We're here with Cecile Richards, Planned Parenthood, daughter of the great Ann Richards, and a great Democrat, and somebody who you need to hear from. It's great to have you here.
Thanks.
This is a big 4 days, big 3 days, in telling the people the differences between the two parties and the differences between two cultures. One who wants to probe women, one who wants to help women, one who basically doesn't give a damn if women are at the bottom of the ladder or in the middle of the ladder, and one who wants to make sure that everybody's equal. Your thoughts about where we're going and how your world of Planned Parenthood and where you're going, how that fits in with mainstream America and mainstream women, where the Republicans are off somewhere in their own male planet.
Well, thanks for having me. Good to see you again. I actually think Planned Parenthood is such a mainstream, community-based organization, and our support, of course, transcends party. So we have a lot of Republicans actually founded Planned Parenthood back in the States. I was just telling somebody, Peggy Goldwater back in the day and was one of the co-founders of Planned Parenthood in Arizona. So we believe that women's health care is not a partisan issue. Unfortunately, what we're seeing, particularly with this U.S. House of Representatives, is that I think a very extreme part of the Republican Party, not frankly representing mainstream traditional Republicans, but an extreme part of the Republican Party, has taken hold of the agenda, and we've seen record numbers of bills proposed and passed in this Congress to basically repeal women's access to health care.
Give me an idea of what you feel you're hearing from women. I mean, I talk to...
Disbelief.
Yeah.
Disbelief. Like they can't believe we're fighting this again.
Yes, I mean...
How can we in 2012 and we're talking about birth control?
Please.
This is what I 99% of women in this country have used birth control at some point in their lifetime. This is not a controversial issue. And so the fact that we are having to fight this Congress, and frankly, Mr. Romney, over the right of women to get access to birth control through their insurance plans is extraordinary to women and to men. I mean, men have as much interest in women getting access to birth control as we do. So it's really quite extraordinary. I think it's a huge mistake. And I even think the attacks on Planned Parenthood over this last year, trying to end access to a preventive care. Again, what Congress went after was access to birth control and cancer screenings. Frankly, we've gained more members in the last year and a half than probably the last 20 years combined.
Your mom, was a incredibly feisty governor and a great fighter for the people of Texas and this country, and I think obviously you have continued in that tradition. That's what we need in this country. We need people who are not going to just go along and get along.
Right.
And this is why I can't for the life of me think that Republican Party and people think they're going to just continue to have this man's world, right, and then women are going to be catching up behind someday.
Right. No, it's look, it's incredible. And I think one of the things that I hope folks remember is that this president first appointed a record number of women to the cabinet. I think we're seeing some of them on stage right now. We now have 3 women on the Supreme Court. I mean, we're far from equity, but we're getting there. And every single issue that we've needed him on, he has stood for women. And frankly, has done more for women's health care access than any president I can remember. And so there is a stark difference. And I do think really what this presidential election in many ways is about is, are we going to move forward, or are we going to go backwards and relitigate issues that for many people feel like are over and done with?
Well, I think people have to understand that what you do when we bring people in and talk to them and counsel them, there is not this sort of, hammer and sickle approach that basically says you must do this. And people don't understand that. And I want you to just finish, if you can, here.
Sure.
What it's like when somebody comes to a Planned Parenthood center for the first time.
Right.
What do they see?
Well, a lot of women come to Planned Parenthood as the first time they've really been to an adult doctor. And they come to us primarily for their basic well woman visit. They get their cancer screenings, they get their birth control if they're on birth control, they get whatever well woman visit they need. And for some women who maybe they've never been on birth control, maybe they have other questions, we feel like Planned Parenthood is a place they can come and get honest information, no judgment, in a really safe and supportive environment. And sometimes women have to make difficult decisions about pregnancy. We believe Planned Parenthood is there for them.
Cecile Richards, so great to see you. Thank you for being fighting.
Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it.
Good to see you. Have a good week.
Thank you.